Hello, everyone. Welcome to Gift of Faith TV and welcome to today's program. We are talking about a woman in the Bible who had absolutely nothing left: no money, no food, no help. Her husband was dead, her children were about to be taken away, and all she had in her house was a small jar of oil. If you feel like this woman today, empty, tired, and afraid of tomorrow, don't scroll. This message is for you.
In a small village, a widow faced a desperate situation. Her husband, a faithful servant of God, had passed away, leaving her with overwhelming debts. The creditors were relentless, threatening to take her two sons as slaves to pay off the debt. In her desperation, the widow turned to Elisha, the prophet of God. "What seems to be the problem?" Elisha asked. The widow explained her situation, and Elisha responded with a question: "What do you have in your house?" The widow thought for a moment before answering, "Nothing except a small jar of oil." Oil is a simple, everyday item, but Elisha saw something more. He instructed her, "Go, borrow empty jars from your neighbors. Don't gather just a few, but as many as you can find." The widow obeyed, gathering jars from her neighbors. She and her sons began pouring the oil from the small jar into the empty containers. Miraculously, the oil didn't stop flowing until every jar was filled to the brim. Elisha's instructions were clear: sell the oil, pay your debts, and live on the rest with your sons. The widow did as she was told, and the oil provided more than enough to cover her debts and secure her family's future. This story reminds us that even in scarcity, God can multiply our resources. The widow's faith and obedience turned a small jar of oil into a lifeline, showcasing God's provision and care for his people.
The Bible tells us in 2 Kings chapter 4 that this widow cried to the prophet Elisha. She said, "My husband is dead, and the creditor is coming to take my children." Beloved, notice this. God didn't ask her what she lacked. He asked her what she had. Nothing except a little oil. Your faith is your container. Your expectation is your container. This Tuesday, God is reminding you what you have may look small. In his hands, it is powerful. Don't despise your little oil. God is about to use it. I love the detail that she poured the oil behind closed doors. This wasn't a public spectacle. It was a private act of obedience between a family and God. It reminds us that often the most profound changes happen in the quiet moments of faithfulness, not on a public stage. Are you currently facing a situation where you feel you have nothing is? Or are you perhaps holding on to a small jar of oil, a talent, an idea, or a small resource that you're afraid isn't enough? Follow Gift of Faith TV for daily faith-building messages and prayers. Remember, your story is not over. God is still pouring. Stay connected to Gift of Faith TV, where faith comes alive and miracles still happen. My darling, we have come to the end of today's program. Stay safe till I come your way again. Bye-bye.